Hey there fam, welcome back. I thought I'd share all of the mods that I made to the Avengers Quinjet, one of the coolest Marvel sets that I think they've done in quite a bit. Um, they need to do more like this. Like more nice looking vehicles, not crappy ones for Spider-Man that make no sense. But anyway, this set is based on the first Avengers movie, which is still my favorite. And that's probably one of the reasons I got it, because I love that first film so much still. And all of them are good, but I still prefer the first one. I don't know, it's the feel of it. I don't know, but I decided to get the set based on that, and it comes with almost all the Avengers. Doesn't come with Hulk, which it bothers me a little bit. That's why I had to get him separately. It makes sense. He's expensive to make, but it would have been nice to get him. And Hawkeye, for some reason, is never in any set. Hawkeye is just shafted in every single Marvel set. They don't like making him. Either that, or they don't like putting him in sets. Um, I don't know. Whatever. We'll move on. But I did make quite a few small touches to this. Not huge. Well, except for the cockpit. The main cockpit area, that's where a lot of the modifications went. I'll explain why in a minute. But I did want to show you just the poses I put the Avengers into. Just explain why I did that. Just I just want to. It just to make sense. So here's Loki, the main villain of the first Avengers. He's more of an anti-hero in the later films, but in the first film he's a straight villain. So he's a bad guy in this case. And I have him kind of just like jumping, attacking Thor with his scepter. This is the one good thing about this cape piece. I don't like the cape piece, but I like that it can be used for action scenes, or action poses, I guess. That's the one thing I like. I did have these action pieces in clear, but I decided to use that for a Spider-Man figure. So those are in light gray. It hopefully doesn't look terrible. And I added the gold to stud because he's got gold on. So it matches him. And I like that they gave him a new scepter, and the helmet is new with the shiny gold. I don't know. It looks nicer. But yeah, Loki is the main villain. He's being attacked by Thor here. And Thor is jumping off. Jumping, trying to attack his brother. And, Loki's being a prick as usual. So Thor is throwing Mjolnir with the... I decided to give the lightning, put the lightning on the side of the hammer to make it feel more dynamic. And Thor's obviously angry, so he's throwing his hammer, and that's what's happening there. We've got Captain America defending him, attempting to throw his shield, and he's also jumping. And hopefully you can see him. His face is a little hard to see, but he is angry once again. And yeah, he looks great. I wish that they gave him leg printing for sure. That's like pretty much the only complaint I have. But yeah, there's Cap, the leader, and then we'll talk about the big guy in a minute. But we got Iron Man here. Iron Man, in this case, he's not really attacking Loki. He's more defending the Quinjet. He's trying to I guess he's defending Hawkeye and the Quinjet. He's trying to just protect them. So he's not really attacking. He's just flying up and trying to scout out ahead, because he can fly. So he's got all the cool tech. So he's trying to get a good look at the battle. And then the big guy here, we got the Hulk. This was the hardest part of this whole thing, because the Hulk, he's such a big figure. It's hard to get him to stand up without the whole thing falling over, because I don't know, it was hard for me to get the Hulk in a good action pose without it looking terrible. So yeah, I have this build here at the bottom. He's really just held on by two studs, these action pieces in clear, and it's on a ball joint. It's angled, so it looks like he's jumping onto the Quinjet from a wall. I don't know. I think it looks great, but it could look terrible to you. I don't know. Hopefully it looks good. But I just put a build here just so he would stay on the jet because he's a heavy figure. And yeah, he looks fantastic. I decided to go with the original. I decided to buy the original Hulk because this is the first movie, and I decided to be as accurate as possible. Even if this Hulk doesn't look like the movie version, like totally, it's the first Lego Hulk, so it's definitely the coolest in my opinion. And you could say the color's wrong or the face and the hair is wrong. I don't care. I love the Hulk. I've always wanted a figure of the Hulk, and it's just really cool to have. I spent it quite a bit, 25, but it's totally worth it because all the Avengers are here. And it's he definitely stands out from the rest of the jet because the Quinjet itself is like dark gray. It's very boring of a color scheme, and then you get all these colorful Avengers just popping around. In my opinion, it looks awesome. I'm a huge fan of the film, huge fan of these characters and these figures, and to have them all together is just amazing. And they're all on top of my shelf. The Quinjet's kind of going down in a battle like flight. It's hard to explain. Yeah, Hawkeye's trying to like make it go down, to shake Loki off. So yeah, that's what's going on here. In the future, I might closer to summer, I might buy a few of Loki's henchmen, the Chitauri soldiers. I feel like they would add a lot more to this. I think, although I think that would be too many characters, maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I might buy 4 of them just to have more like enemies for them to fight, but I don't know. It's just a thought. Considering it. Anyway, some other things I added. Not much, honestly. Let me take Thor and Loki off. Actually, probably just Thor. So I can show you the inside. I added a little bit of stuff, not much. If I can take the jet off the stand for a minute. I added Black Widow's guns on the sides here, and Hawkeye's bow. That's about it. Nothing else is really in there. It's pretty empty. That's how you get it in the set. It's a lot of space, but there's not a lot to do in there. Like, there's not a lot to look at, but I'm glad that there's so much space. I would rather have the space than the detail, to be honest. But if you turn it around, you can see there's a fire extinguisher. I added that. That's from Rubricable. This whole mod for the cockpit is not mine. It's from Rubricable. And you can see the entrance to the cockpit there with the classic Marvel fire extinguisher piece. But yeah, I'm going to take the figures out of the cockpit so you can see this whole entire front section is completely different to how it was in the set. So I'm going to take Black Widow, get her out, take Hawkeye. And this Hawkeye is from the original figure, by the way. It's just the hair is changed. But anyway, this entire section is different. It's so, like, it's different. It's not the same. Like, it's changed. If I can, yeah, repeating stuff. But anyway, there's a couple of chairs, and it's a lot more how it was in the movie, where the cockpit is 2 seats side by side. So the pilots would, it's almost like it's a very militaristic, it's a military jet. So that's how it would look, you know? It's got one of the pieces of the cockpit. If I turn it around, it's a little easier to see. You can see lots of consoles in there. Hopefully you can see that. There you go. And just a couple of, like, joysticks. You know, I don't know what these pieces are called. These control pieces, yeah. Control panel stick things, joysticks, whatever. They're in there. And it took me forever to get all these pieces together. But yeah, it looks really, really, really good. And if you want a different look for it, I'll lift open the back so you can see all the way down where, this is the minifig's perspective, so this is what they would see. So this is all the way down at the front. That's probably what, in the movie, Captain America is in here. Like, in the battle, the first half of the battle, he's in the jet, like in the back here, and he's like hanging onto the ceiling. I did that for a long time, but it just wouldn't be the Avengers if Captain America wasn't, like, seen. Like, as cool as it would be, and it's very accurate to the scene if he was in here, it just wouldn't, I don't know, you'd be like, where's Captain America? I'm like, well, he's in there, you just can't see him. So for the longest time I did have him like holding onto the ceiling, but I don't know, it it's accurate to the film scene, but you can't see him in action. That was kind of the that was a little bit disappointing, so I took him out. But yeah, a couple other things I added. Let's see, over here on the wings, you can see them right maybe here. Yeah, these are spring-loaded shooters. You know how these work. Press them down, fire off. And I added those to give it some more weapons, because this only has the machine gun. Speaking of that, we'll get to that. And I just added these missile launchers to give it a little bit more weapons, you know, to make it not as, you know, defenseless, I guess. And the last thing I added is the machine gun. There is a machine gun build down here. It folds up, really awesome. And it's a very important part of the scene. And I wanted to make it shoot, at least not like actually shoot, but like look like it's shooting at something. So I added all these fire pieces, like these trans orange parts, just to give it the illusion of gunfire. You know, obviously, because they're shooting at the aliens. So, you know, I just thought that'd be a really cool touch. And the last thing I added was these minifig stands for the stand itself, just to make it like a little bit taller. That way on the shelf it doesn't look as low, I guess. But that's it. That is the Quinjet modifications. I love this build. It's so well designed, especially compared to the original set, which I missed out on, sadly. I remember it coming out. It was a very big, cool set. But I never got it. So to have the new one, it's so much better. It looks nicer. It feels really great. And it's really fun to fly around. It's got almost all the Avengers. You know, you gotta buy the other two separately, but it's just a fantastic, like, set, in my opinion. One of the best I've gotten for sure in a long time. It's just so great. It helps that I'm a fan of the film and the ship in the movie, so, or not the ship, the jet, whatever. But that's it. Let me know what you think. Have you modified your Quinjet? Which Quinjet is your favorite? And do you think they should make a UCS version? Let me know. And what do you think of these modifications? Do you think they're terrible, or do you think they're good? And by the way, if you want to look up the cockpit, go on Rebrickable, it's up there. And yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think. Take care, and have a great day.